Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not on here very often. I apologize for that. For anyone who has or is still on my channel, I want to get back into making content, making videos, but I've had a lot going on, and I've been a bit preoccupied. I was not expecting that this would come up again. And I'm getting pretty frustrated with it. It's been 3 years now since this all started. I have prior videos, and I have some shorts even that kind of touched on it briefly, or explained the videos that I was going to be posting. So if you're watching this and you haven't seen the previous videos, go check them out. It's regarding the Pine Ridge Marketplace in Prescott, Arizona, the mall, if you can call it that these days. It's anyways, I digress. The videos that I have posted, that I've made in the past, that they are, the description will mention, the matters with the Pine Ridge Marketplace or something to that effect. So, why I'm coming back on here after all this time is because I have recently just come to learn that, and like I said, it's been 3 years since all of this started. I've moved on. At least I thought I did. I was trying to. Yes, I made some videos explaining it, discussing it. I was, wanting to spread awareness, let people know, hey, this is how things are happening. This is, there were, I think one of the videos mentioned 3 individuals that were disabled. They got let go. They were working housekeeping for the mall, and they got let go because they weren't working fast enough or hard enough or whatever. So those were the videos that I made. I wasn't like, and they're so sporadic. I was not expecting to have to make this video today. So, in any event, I recently, the other day, came to learn through someone I know, that also used to work at the mall, that, he had applied for another position somewhere else, not even at the mall. He applied for a position at a different location in Prescott. And they inquired about his past work. And I came to learn from him, he learned that the management of Pine Ridge Marketplace provided this other company, and they still have, but they provided this other company a list of names of people that worked for them. And they went so far as to not only just, like, they contacted the mall to inquire about this one individual, and in the process, my name got brought up. And the management went on to tell them that I was on this list, that I am no longer working for the mall either, for X, Y, and Z. They essentially put my personal business out and gave my personal business to another company and told them effectively, not directly, not like they weren't like, it wasn't just me they were referring about as far as making this statement, but they essentially told the company do not hire these people that are on this list. And within that conversation, obviously my name got brought up, and they explained whatever my personal business was at the time that I stopped working at the mall. And I want to clarify and make this crystal clear. I wasn't working for the mall. I was working at the mall. I was working for Allied Universal. So, I wasn't even working for the management. They were just a client. But they are going and effectively taking my personal information and They provided this information to one company. My name got brought up. They talked about me, and the inquiry wasn't even about me. It was about someone else. This leads me to believe if this is where things are 3 years later, that means what are the odds that they're going and spewing my personal business to other companies and telling other companies, other managers, who knows, anyone that she knows. For all I know, she's going to other people that she knows in the community, in the town, whatever, and telling them not to hire me because of X, Y, and Z, which in the state of Arizona, and I'm pretty sure anywhere else, that's illegal. The only thing an employer or a manager, the only thing that can be said, and actually it wasn't even her place to say, because again, she was the client, I didn't work for her. But the only thing that can be stated is whether the person is rehirable or not. And it, obviously, like, if they showed up on time and stuff like that. But to go out and, like, slander them and tell other businesses or other managers of a company or whatever, this person worked at this location, this happened, don't hire them, that's illegal, highly illegal. That is not okay. And it's, like I said, I'm beating a dead horse here, but it's been 3 years. It is August of 2026. This happened in July of 2024. And it is still ongoing. I'll be blunt and flat out, because I've said it in my other videos. She was petty enough to have me trespassed from the mall. And it's not just me. This manager trespasses everyone that has worked for or worked with the mall. Whether it's security, whether it's housekeeping, whether it's a tenant. And I've made these videos, and I'm making this now because I need people to understand. People need to be aware, especially if they're going to do business with said mall, that this is a risk you're running into. You may end up, let's say you are a tenant. Let's say you rent a space in the mall, and you decide, let's say it's not working out. Let's say you can't afford it, or you need a bigger space, whatever. If you leave the mall, right, you vacate, whether you're on good terms or not, the management of said mall will blacklist you throughout the entire town. She will let people know. She's done it with the security. There's no reason why she wouldn't do it with other people. And she'll likely trespass you from said mall, even if you leave on good terms. I think the upside to me getting the security job and getting that inside, working the job was getting this inside knowledge, understanding how this mall and the management operates and how they treat people. I didn't know this until I started working for them. I don't want to harp and I don't want to ramble and go on and on and on, but people need to be aware. Like I said, it's August of 2026. This all started July of 2024. And I'll be, in case you haven't and you're not going to watch the videos, you don't have to, but if you want to, feel free. I want to clarify, and I don't need to prove anything to anyone, but what initially took place in July of 2024 was I woke up, I was having a bad day. The day just didn't go well. I spent my morning trying to run errands. The day was just kind of progressively getting worse. I probably should have called out of work. However, given what I know now, who's to say that it wouldn't have ended the same way anyways. Or similarly. But essentially, 4 months earlier from July, so March 11th, I lost my sister to suicide. And in July, 4 months later, it was a bad, it had only been 4 months. I mean, grief doesn't go away, but given the circumstances, 4 months, right? That's not a lot of time. I was having a rough day. And instead of anyone talking to me, instead of anyone trying to understand and help me, and listen, I got blacklisted. I got a welfare check was called because someone knew that I wasn't doing good, and I was obviously they were concerned. I appreciate that. And it didn't get handled well with the Prescott police that arrived. They aggravated the situation. They didn't try to de-escalate. They argued with me, and they ended up walking me out of the building. I'll be honest, because I've got nothing to hide. They walked me out of the building. So we weren't around. I tried to tell them, like, let's walk outside and talk, but they didn't want to do that until they had pushed the arguing to a point where then I was too overwhelmed, and they ended up walking me out anyways. I know it sounds redundant, but walked me out of the mall to quite forcefully too. They didn't need to. They kind of like they were pushing me out. I would have walked with them. The way the Prescott Police Department went about it was all wrong. They could have been a lot calmer. They could have. I wasn't a risk to anyone. I explained that to them when outside. In any event, with all that said, the point is after all that had taken place, I was told that I wasn't allowed to come back to the property, and they trespassed me like a month later or something like that. So like August or September or something, I then got trespassed. The management contacted the police and had a trespassing put on me. But I want to make this clear. She does this with everyone. It's not just me. This is not like a unique situation. She has done this with every single person. The list, like when my name got brought up with this other employer and this other candidate that had nothing to do with me, it was stated, and they were provided a list of names. So it's not like it wasn't just me and him. It was like it was a total of like 4 or 5 people or whatever, as far as I know. But so she provided this information, and she's, so it's not just me. It's everyone, basically everyone that's worked security at the mall. And I wouldn't put it past that she's done it with the housekeeping. She's probably done it with the maintenance crew, with tenants. This is a really serious matter, and the fact that this is how they're doing business in Prescott is really concerning, and I think people need to know this needs to be pushed. This needs to be put out there. This is serious. She is affecting other people's ability to work, their livelihood. Now she is effectively causing problems and affecting other people's livelihood, or an ability to make money. I never thought that I'd actually have to make another video. I thought I was done. I moved on. I actually moved on. I was focusing on what other shit. And then I get this news. 3 years and like 1 month later, this is what's happening. I asked when this took place, I said, can we sit down and talk? Can we get some understanding between each other? Can we kind of find some middle ground? And they didn't want to. They didn't want to understand anything. They wanted it to just blow over and go away. And 3 years later, they are continuing to make it an issue. So, do with that information what you will, but I wanted to get this out there and touch on it and make a point to make this known. So, anyways, till later, we'll see y'all. Have a nice day.